Hey, what's going on, everyone? So I decided to go see the new Scream movie yesterday, and let's just say I don't know whether to rant about it or just feel disappointed. I mean, I was going to wait until it came out on Paramount Plus, but it is what it is. But yeah, Scream 1996, the original, is a top 5 movie of mine, and I'm not just talking about horror movies, I'm talking about all time. So that's where I hold Scream 1996 in my heart. But I have to admit, after looking at all these sequels, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, and this Scream 2022, Scream 1996 should have just been a one-off. And it's sad because I think the motives behind these killers are the same in each and every sequel. I mean, it's over and over again. And I mean, for instance, in this new movie, the opening scene was the same exact opening scene as the 1996 Scream. And the only difference they had was a teenager who actually looked like a little girl being the victim this time. But this time they incorporated cell phones and they toyed around with the security system, and that was basically it. And I'm not gonna lie though, when Ghostface finally showed up, I popped. But as soon as he or she got kicked and fell down, I was like, oh boy, here we go again, the same old Ghostface. And it always bothered me a lot in these Scream movies when Ghostface would be so ruthless and smart, but then he gets beat up by a girl or do something stupid. I mean, it seems like every time you turn, he's getting kicked and falling down to the ground and hitting his head. I mean, it's kind of corny. But ultimately, this new Scream movie focused on secrets of the past. And this is a spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen the movie yet, because I know it's a lot of people who haven't seen it yet. So click off if you haven't watched the movie. But Skeet Ulrich was brought back as Billy Loomis, but he was brought back as like a spirit from the dead, and he was playing mind tricks on Sam, which was unnecessary, and we will get to that later. But of course, Neve Campbell, she came back, David Arquette, and Gail Weathers. What's her real name? Hold on one second. What's her real name? Courtney Cox. Yeah, they brought back Courtney Cox, and I think her character is way overrated by the fan base. And I think that her character is useless, and really they should have killed her off instead of Dewey, but we will get to that later. And also, they brought back the woman deputy that was in Scream 4. She returned to the movie, and now she's the sheriff of the town. And then you had a plethora of new characters who were introduced, some good, some not so good. It felt like High School Musical actors at times, but even though they felt like Disney actors, they all won me over in convincing fashion one way or another. And although I will say that the new main character didn't have enough flair and that it factor, she did what she needed to do to win the audience over. And let me mention and talk about this right quick. Scream 2022 was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina, but takes place in California. And it definitely didn't look or feel like California. I mean, they could at least put an orange tint on the movie to give it that California feel, and they just didn't do it. Anyway, the whole movie felt like it was condensed, and I don't know. That's one thing I hate about these new movies. They just feel so small, and the budget seems a little bit smaller. And the soundstage looks like, I don't know, you can tell that the soundstage is a soundstage, and you don't supposed to do that in movies. And I don't know about y'all, but that completely takes me away from being invested into the movie. And the budget was approximately $24 million, and you can definitely tell. And I just think that they should have just left the franchise alone after Wes Craven passed away. And that's being generous, because like I said before, they should have just left it off in 1996. Because the two killer formula is clearly not working. But let's go ahead and get started and discuss this plot a little bit more. So the main character of this movie, Sam Carpenter, she is Billy Loomis' illegitimate child. And the whole backstory behind that felt so rushed when they was explaining it, and kind of think of it, it was unoriginal. And seamlessly because we already had a Billy Loomis family member introduced. And I guess Scream 6, it will probably be his father returning. But, anyway, Samantha is the new Sidney Prescott, and she's trying to run away from her problems, but she can't run anymore due to her little sister, Tara, being attacked. So Sam and her current boyfriend, which later on revealed to be one of the killers, they went looking for help, and which landed them in Dewey Riley's trailer park. And this is where things become Halloween 2018-ish because Dewey was a parallel to Laurie Strode in this scene. But anyway, Dewey has gone downhill, and at first he was hesitant to help them look for the killer, but you know, I guess later on he had a change of heart and he decided to go back and, help them out. Then we see Dewey alerts the legacy characters, Sydney and Gale, and eventually they come back to Woodsboro. Well, Gale came back before Sydney because Sydney had no intentions on coming back to the town, but once Dewey was killed, she returned. And speaking of Dewey's death, I felt like the death meant nothing. I mean, I just didn't feel nothing from it. And I was supposed to feel, sympathy for him, but I didn't. Like, it was just another kill. And, why was the hospital floor where he was killed on completely empty? Like, a hospital is never empty. Like, Tara, whatever her name is, she was getting out the bed and she was unhooking IVs and everything like that. So the bed alarms will be going off and nurses will be checking in, and that's just a very unlikely situation to happen. They could have at least showed one nurse dead or something like that, and I don't know, that was kind of like a plot hole. But yeah, when Dewey died, I even felt like Gale Weathers, she didn't even react in a grieving way that she should have. I mean, it was just like, oh man, that was awful. Me and Dewey, we had our stuff in the past. But in the next couple of scenes, she cracking jokes and all that. And I'm like, come on, man. But, then the story progresses and, with several more attacks, everything ends up at Stu House. Yes, Stu House makes a return. And that's when Sam went to the house because her sister, she needed an inhaler, but of course her boyfriend plotted everything to get them back to Stu's house. But yeah, it's a big party going on and the Disney cast is just, partying away or whatever. So once the party is crashed and all the other people get out, that's when everything starts to unravel. And this ending just felt so sloppy in so many ways. Like, all of the good people, it seemed like they were stabbed, but somehow they survived. And I want to mention this. Like, it seems like all these Ghostface are so obsessed with Sidney Prescott, but they always let her survive. And that brings me back to the hospital also. Like, when Samantha and Tara was at the hospital with Dewey and all that, so was Ghostface gonna kill them? Because in his ultimate plan was to bring them back to Stu House where it always happened at. So was he gonna kill them at the hospital? Why was he attacking them or whatever like that? That made no sense at all. But anyway, like I was mentioning, if they're so obsessed with Sidney Prescott, then why are they explaining this dialogue to them? Like, what are they gonna do to them? We're gonna frame you. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And always they find a way to get killed themselves. Just stop talking. And if you're gonna kill Sidney Prescott, just go ahead and kill her. I mean, she keep getting away. So I don't know. I just find that stupid. And but nonetheless, it was kind of awkward and kind of stupid seeing Sidney Prescott fight along Sam Carpenter knowing that that was Billy Loomis' daughter. And I just felt like Samantha's boyfriend, who was Ghostface, was kind of lame, but his girlfriend was the other Ghostface. I know it's kind of confusing. I can't think of her name right now. But I thought she did a great job. She did a real great job as acting crazy and everything like that. But it got kind of crazy when she got set on fire and then she came back, and that was kind of stupid. The house supposed to be on fire and they just let her on fire. And also, you had a scene where Gale Weathers and Sidney Prescott was talking, and Sidney was like, this Ghostface is totally different and the most dangerous. And I'm like, how is he the most dangerous of them all if 6 people survived, or maybe even more survived at the end of the movie? But overall, as of this recording, Scream 2022 was a major letdown, and I can feel confident saying that I don't care to see another Scream movie. And it hurts me to say that, and it just seems like they're just going out very, very awful. And, I think they overdid it too much, especially when they was talking about Halloween, the Babadook, Friday the 13th. I mean, it didn't come off natural. And we get it. Scream doesn't take itself seriously, so you don't have to remind us of that every single time. And then if you think about it, they used the same formula as Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. I mean, they used the legacy characters to come back, and they did the same storyline over and over again. Like I said, Billy mom was in Scream 2, and now they brought back well, they didn't bring her back. They created a character, and it was Billy's daughter. So what's going to be next in Scream 6? His father is going to return. So I don't know. It's just kind of getting all over the place, and the same story over and over, but that didn't really piss me off as much as, other things in this movie. Like, for instance, when the sheriff was killed at her house, I mean, she called the police before she even pulled up to the house, and the police never showed up before they killed his son. So that was kind of awkward, and, that was drug out a little bit. And another thing is, why didn't nobody conduct a real investigation between these teenagers to see like who really did it? Like, they was using these cliche horror tropes to find out who the killer was, and I didn't really like that. In conclusion, if you love Easter eggs from the previous movies and typical slashers and the whodunit style type movies, then this movie is definitely for you. But like I said, I was disappointed, and I have 0% interest in seeing Scream 6. And I heard it's already confirmed. But yeah, y'all, let me know down in the comment section. What do you all think about Scream 5? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Are you looking forward to Scream 6? Anyway, those were my initial thoughts, and whenever it comes out on Paramount Plus, I might make another video because I might feel differently about it. But right now I feel strongly about I don't really like Scream 5, and it was a major disappointment and letdown. I feel like I felt with Halloween 2018 with this one. So, if you love any and everything horror movie related, then make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so you can see every time I upload. As always, be safe. Peace.